So I hope everyone will forgive me a moment of self-promotion. But as I say, if you don't promote yourself, who will? So this is from the Howland Public Library. I'm just going to quickly just read the beginning of it to you. And this is also an invitation to all of you. Come to the Howland Public Library on Tuesday, November 20th. That's not this coming Tuesday, but the one after. From 6:30 to 7:30 to welcome and honor the newly selected Beacon Poet Laureate, Mr. Peter Ullian. So come and join us. It'll be an hour ceremony.
You should have told me. I would have done that for you.
Well, I should have. You're right. Actually.
You followed a wild man.
Yeah. So I did indeed. I did. And Tony is a big, actually, inspiration for me. So, the poems I'm going to read tonight, some of you heard at the Carpelas, and I may read the same ones on Tuesday, the 20th. But as consolation for those of you who will be familiar with these poems, I'm told there will also be snacks. So. All right, so this one is called, this one is called, I Am the Black Bear You Saw in Garrison as you drove south on 9D while taking your children to summer camp. I am on the side of the road, having just come down the ridge from the forest. I am doing what black bears do, rummaging for things to eat. You are driving your used 2002 Honda Odyssey, that minivan named for Odysseus' journey, as if that heroic nomenclature could save you from the whirling taunts you inflict upon yourself inside your own brain as you channel the self-doubt you have built up over a lifetime of inadequacy. Black bears like me, we have no such doubts. You are driving. It is a lovely summer day. Even I, with my Ursidean brain, recognize the loveliness of the day. It is warm, with just a hint of morning crispness, a portent of the coming autumn, when I will start to think about hibernating, and you will start to think about obtaining school supplies. The sun is low, but rising, bringing with it the promise of nectar and bees and rabbits and trees. You are driving when you see the bear, who would be me, on the side of the road. Your first thought, simply, oh look, a bear, as if I were a raccoon, or a deer, or a buzzard, or a turkey, or a coyote, or some such other commonplace creature, rather than the grand and seldom seen Ursus americanus. But then, something clicks inside your mammalian mind, even as it does mine. Your eyes widen as mine look up. From across 2 lanes of Route 9D, we see each other. We see each other as individuals, and not as generic bear and generic Odyssey driver. We recognize something in one another. You recognize my uniqueness, my beauty, my preciousness, my shiny black coat and undulating muscles. I am the only bear you have ever seen in the wild. I recognize your predatory instincts, which your minivan and Ray-Bans and donation to the Sierra Club cannot mask. They are deeply embedded within your lizard brain. And so, I turn and bolt as you shout to your kids, a bear, gesticulating wildly, pointing out the window. You are the only one who sees me. And when you drop your kids off at camp, you make sure to inform the counselor that, not far from here, in the woods above the ridge, overlooking 9D, there is a black bear, an Ursus americanus, roaming, doing what black bears do. Thank you. This one is called Mailbox Spider Nighthawk. I come home to find a spider has spun her web from my mailbox to the side of the house. Silvery threads suspended for a patient hunter awaiting prey. I lift the top of the box. The silk shivers The spider scurries. Cautiously, I retrieve the mail, careful not to disturb my lodger's meticulous geometry. I close the lid. The web remains intact. I examine the mail. Bills, solicitations, and glossy political postcards. The spider glares at me with 4 pairs of eyes, annoyed at me for disturbing her peace. I want to tell her she should have consulted me before spinning. Location, location, location. This is a high traffic area, not a place for an arachnid who values solitude, who seeks only to dine alone like a nighthawk at the diner, the one who sits companionless, hat on head, back to the viewer, alone with his coffee, his meal, his thoughts, and his seclusion, while the couple sit across the counter, side by side, but avoiding eye contact. If only they had an extra 3 pair, like my spider friend, then perhaps they could gaze into the windows of their souls while still keeping an ever-vigilant pair on the door. And so just one more. Apparently I'm into long titles all of a sudden. This one is called, They Say You Cannot Be Both a McCartney Person and a Lennon Person, but really you can and probably should. I know what they say. You can be a Lennon person. You can be a McCartney person. You can be a Lennon/McCartney person, but you cannot be both a Lennon person and a McCartney person. That simply cannot be done. It's like having your cake and eating it too. But I say you cannot separate the McCartney person from the Lennon person any more than you can separate the yin from the yang, the stars from the stripes, your left ventricle from your right. We would be as incomplete without our glass onion as without our good day sunshine. You need both to be complete. What's the point, after all, of having your cake if you cannot cut it into pieces and eat it too, with a friend and a fork under a bare light bulb swaying above a peeling orange formica kitchen table while the Beatles sing Birthday on the transistor radio? Thank you.